Hey everyone, I'm Brian Wolly, editor of Smithsonian.com, and I'm here to talk to you about headlines. In my 10 years on the job, I've learned a lot about what it takes to attract readers online and how we, as museum professionals, can excel at it. What time is the Super Bowl? This was one of the original clickbaity headlines, at least from an SEO perspective. Here, journalism was performing a critical service, providing important information to the public. The article itself answered the question people were searching for. What time does the game start? I contend that there is room for museums to learn from these news sites. What are the questions your fans and followers are asking? What information do you have within your archives and collections? And what questions are people asking that you can have the answers to? Headlines are the beginning of how you tell your story to your readers. Without one that engages and intrigues your audience, not only are you missing out, they're missing out too. By encouraging that click, you are informing people what they want to know, or what they never knew they wanted to know. Museums have, I'm looking for info kind of clickbait. And then there's the wow, who knew kind of information that to their potential great benefit, museums specialize in. Last year's MCN Green Room inspired me to do this talk. The game was to look at museum objects and come up with headlines about them that would encourage that click. It was an invigorating and exciting experience as we reviewed objects like sticks, coins, forks even. We had a great time, but it left me wanting to talk more about it. More crucially, I found a need to disabuse my colleagues of the notion that enticing readers to click required headlines that were intentionally misleading or sneaky. There are a lot of bad actors out there. Bad actors are the people who exploit that human impulse to be curious. Bad actors are the websites and content producers who dehumanize the digital, thinking that algorithms can predict how people behave. Bad actors are the sites that when a celebrity dies, populate dozens of URLs to game Google, each asking questions about the deceased. Bad actors are demoralizing and make the internet a worse place to spend time. Without the educational mission of museums, bad actors, lured by financial incentives, exploit the worst of us and give the concept of writing headlines that inspire clicks a bad name. The headline on this one was what Hayden Christensen really thinks about sand, which is just awesome. Headlines are promises to the reader. Misleading headlines tell readers that your site has unreliable and unsatisfying information. I see a little bit of a parallel here with the Museum of Ice Cream and its ilk. Entertaining, ephemerally satisfying, but empty calories. A headline that delivers, however, can be a welcome addition to your visitor's online diet. They can leave your site feeling fulfilled and educated, just as they would with an in-person visit to your museum. 3 quick tips. When I work with writers on Smithsonian.com, I ask them to provide a headline with their pitch. It's a way for me to get them to focus on their prose. It keeps them focused, and good headlines also breed stronger arguments. 2, there's no such thing as a spoiler alert when it comes to headlines. You can give the whole game away and still get that click. 3, objects, no matter how cool, won't drive traffic on their own. Like a good movie script, it requires a whole lot more for success. Which brings me to Meryl Streep. What I hope you take away is that museums can be good actors. Writing clickbait is not pandering, it's engagement. Meryl Streep, after all, gets Oscar nods for her more commercial films too. Museums are incredible founts of knowledge. They hold within them stunning objects. But can we speak as a voice of knowledge, sharing those objects, while also understanding that we're no longer the gatekeepers of all knowledge? We can, and we must. I leave you with 3 quotes. Ed Rodley wrote this one a few years ago. It takes the concept of online engagement from a nice-to-have to a must-have. And a Twitter thread Ed recently shared with me says, if museums do not tell their own story, others will do it for them. This historian is great. He's known for dunking on ignorant, prominent Twitter users. His powerful point hits that the role museums can play as communicators. The web is full of fake news. Who better to separate out the fact from fiction but museums? And Colleen's post here is great as well, aside from having an excellent headline. Museums do indeed have something that the news media has lost as of late, trust. And by embracing that superpower, as she tells it, we can help our visitors navigate the world today. Embracing the world of headlines is in your online storytelling, encouraging the next click does not dilute that trust, as long as you're less like Keanu and a little bit more like Meryl. Thank you.